headlines across Colorado is the story about a man who went out for a jog and ended up fighting off a mountain lion with his bare hands. Even though encounters like that are extremely rare, we want you to have the right information to help you understand mountain lion behavior and avoid a confrontation. So we invited our very own Jeffco Marianne Bonnell here. She's with more. She always has a great story and great tips. So great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
So Marianne, why are you so interested in mountain lion safety?
Well, back in 1998, I was one of the first responders at Rock Sparrow State Park when a similar story, another young man who was trail running on Carpenter Peak Trail was attacked by a mountain lion, and he successfully fought the mountain lion off with his bare hands.
So he survived.
He survived, and he did not end up killing the lion, but he survived the attack with surprisingly minimal injuries.
It's so crazy to think that you're just out there jogging or walking, enjoying life, and boom, it can happen like that.
And it doesn't happen all that often. That's what we want to stress. This is an unusual thing, but it is good to know what to do and have in your head to know what to do if that should happen.
So I hear terms mountain lion, puma, cougar. Are they all the same?
All the same. Common names are that way. There's lots of different common names for animals. It depends on what region you're in, but they all mean mountain lion. Same thing. Yes.
Where do they live?
Well, that's a great question. They live anywhere there can be cover and food. And if you are getting a mountain lion's head, what they want to eat is deer or rabbits or other small prey. We see mountain lions in our parks, but we're also starting to see mountain lions in communities like King Carroll, Golden, in this Table Mountain area. So again, as deer move into city environments, you can see mountain lions in suburban or ex-urban environments.
That's so scary because I always think of them really high up in the mountains.
Right.
How do I know I've spotted a mountain lion?
Okay, they actually are kind of surprisingly hard to identify. We've had people misidentify house cats, bobcats, and even squirrels. Yes.
Well, bobcats can get pretty big though.
They can be big, but what you're looking for is you're looking for a cat that has a tail that's a third as long as its body. So a very long tail, and they carry it low and kind of slung. They're also all one color. And then a bobcat's going to have a shortened tail, and they're going to have those little tips to the end of their ears. But we've had bobcat sightings at one of our parks, Van Bibber, and somebody called it in as 4 mountain lions in the park, and I was like, oh gosh. But it turned out to be bobcats. Yeah.
Are bobcats pretty dangerous? Can they kill too?
Bobcats are dangerous to a chicken or a small dog or a cat, but they're not a large animal.
All right. Really so if I see a mountain lion, what's the first thing? I mean, most people would run, but that's not the right thing to do.
That is not what you want to do. So this is a predator, so you don't in any way want to give it a cue that you are prey. So running away from a predator is not a good idea. You want to stand your ground, you want to make yourself look as big as possible and use a very strong voice to command the animal to leave you alone. This is where you channel your inner, I call it my Uma Thurman, just get all ham and just be big and be anything but what looks like prey.
I call it PMS.
There you go. There you go.
Don't mess with me!
Exactly. That's a perfect voice. Perfect voice. You don't want to get down on the ground. You need to stand, stay your ground, and if you've got something large with you, like a mountain bike or skis or poles, use that to put between you and the mountain lion.
And these are not very common, though.
No. So since the 70s, there are less than 20 documented mountain lion injuries in the state of Colorado and 2 fatalities. Now, again, that's too many. But there are 2 fatalities. There's a third that is possible, but hasn't ever been determined for sure to be a mountain lion fatality.
Normally, do they like hide up in the trees and wait until you come by and jump on you?
So mountain lions are kind of lie in wait, but they'll also stalk prey. And so one of the things that I think this gentleman who just recently was involved in the incident with the mountain lion has been really great about saying to everyone, don't wear earbuds. He heard the animal stepping on the pine needles behind him, and he happened to turn. Now, he wouldn't have heard that if he had been jamming out to whatever the heck you're listening to while you're running. And that's just one piece of being aware of your surroundings. If you don't hear something coming, and that could be a mountain lion, that could be another mountain biker, that could be an equestrian, that could be someone that's trying to communicate with you. So those earbuds, even if you just keep one in and leave one out, that's better than being completely closed off from your surroundings.
And he pretty much did everything right.
He did everything right.
Because the mountain lion was going for his face or his neck.
The mountain lion was going for his face. He has a defensive wound to his hand, so he was trying to protect his face. And it was scratching at his face. And what we do say is, in the extremely unlikely event that you are attacked by a mountain lion, fight back with everything you have.
Yes.
And that is, he went for blunt force to the head. He was trying to use rocks and sticks, and then he finally asphyxiated the mountain lion using his own foot.
Would it work if, like, you put your thumb or fingers anywhere? Like I'm thinking eyes,
well,
not mouth, but nose. Maybe.
The gentleman that was involved in the incident at Roxborough State Park, as he described, the mountain lion actually had him by the head.
Ooh.
And he was just sort of reaching around, and he described putting his finger in something soft. So we don't know if he poked the mountain lion in the eye or put his finger up the mountain lion's nose, but whatever he did, the mountain lion let go long enough for him to fight his way away from the animal.
Oh, thank God, thank God.
Yeah.
So another good way to know that you're in the surroundings of mountain lions are their tracks.
Yes.
How do I know that's a mountain lion track? We're looking at one right now,
yes.
right?
So these are very easily mistaken for dog tracks. So one of the main things you want to look for is mountain lions as they walk, just like house cats, do not show a claw. So you'll see in that track there are no claw marks. So that's your first thing. Second is a mountain lion track is very rounded. So it's about a 3-inch round square. And the third thing, their interdigital pad, which is sort of not the fingers, but the pad in between, is distinctive. It has 3 lobes on the bottom and 2 lobes on the top. This isn't the cleanest track because it's been stepped in twice. But when you see a nice clean track that's just 1 foot, you will see those 3 lobes on the bottom and 2 lobes on the top, if indeed it's a feline.
That is crazy. And that's a pretty good size mountain lion.
That's my chapstick sitting next to it. So I use my chapstick as a way to show people how big things are. So that's a good sized track. That was in that was in Alderfer Three Sisters Park. Yeah. And the other thing is you can see there's one track and another track. When mountain lions or other predators stalk or walk, they will walk their back foot in their front foot's track. To save energy and to keep quiet.
Very smart.
Right.
Now, is it only daytime or do they actually hunt? Are they nocturnal animals as well?
That's a great question. So we will see mountain lions during the day. You saw those photos from our trail camera, mountain lion walking down the trail, middle of the day.
Yeah.
But their preferred time, just because there's people around, tends to be dawn, dusk, which is called crepuscular, or nighttime, which is another reason why we encourage our visitors to obey park hours. You don't want to be out walking the trail when the mountain lions are doing their thing.
The guy who just got attacked, was that during the day?
It was during the day.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And the attack at Roxborough was also during the day. So they are nocturnal or crepuscular, but it doesn't mean you wouldn't see one during the day.
Well, great safety tips. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on to talk about this important topic.
Uma Thurman. Right. For more information about wildlife updates and visitor tips, go to jeffco.us/open-space. Be safe. Plan your next outdoor adventure with the help of Jefferson County Open Space.